U-turns and politicians, it's a story that never gets old. And the latest plot involves US President Joe Biden. His promises from 2020 are coming back to haunt him. Why? Because he's breaking them. Biden's predecessor was Donald Trump. He came to power promising to build a wall between the US and Mexico. That was his solution to immigration, a border wall. Build a wall, keep the migrants out. But in 2020, Biden opposed it. He said under his presidency, not a single foot of the wall will be built. Listen to this.
There will not be another foot of wall constructed in my administration.
Guess what? Biden is building a lot more than just a foot. He is building 32 kilometers of the same border wall. That's right. Biden is building Trump's wall. The question is why? If you ask the president, it's all technical. The money for this construction had been approved in 2019. Donald Trump was president then. Biden asked the Congress to channel this money elsewhere, but the Congress said no. So legally, Biden had to build the wall. Listen to his defense.
I tried to get them to reappropriate, to redirect that money. They didn't. They wouldn't. And in the meantime, there's nothing under the law other than they have to use the money for what it was appropriated. I can't stop that.
Do you believe the border wall works?
No.
So Biden doesn't believe the wall will work, but he is building 32 kilometers of it anyway. That's American politics for you. It's amazing, really. Everything that goes wrong is the Congress's fault. Abortion rights, gun violence, funding for Ukraine, it's all because of the Congress. Why then is Joe Biden president? He himself promised to work across the aisle, to strike consensus with Republicans, and now he's putting all the blame on the Congress. It's a neat strategy. Wall or not, Biden is responsible for America's border situation. Let's take a look at some numbers. In 2019, around 850,000 migrants were apprehended at the border. 850,000. That's before Biden took office. In 2021, it was 1.7 million. In 2022, it was 2.2 million. And this year, it's already crossed 2 million. What happens to these people? Some of them are deported, others leave voluntarily, and the rest apply for asylum. More than 2 million asylum requests are pending before the US government. It's basically an endless wait. Reports say around 11 million illegal migrants already live in the US. Some of them have been around for decades. So the border situation is a huge worry. Around 54% of American voters agree. They think immigration is making life harder for native-born Americans. There is a partisan split, though. Around 73% Republicans versus around 37% Democrats. Both sides are panning Biden for his U-turn. Democrats say this wall is a cruel solution. Republicans say, we told you so. And Donald Trump is leading that chorus. He's asking Joe Biden to apologize for rubbishing his wall, and chances are Trump will face off against Biden next year in the presidential election. He's the front runner for president, the Republican front runner. And turns out, maybe even House Speaker. This week, the US House Speaker Kevin McCarthy was ousted. The Republicans cannot decide who to appoint next. Apparently, Trump's name has been proposed, sort of like a consensus candidate. But will the former president accept? Listen to his statement. This is what he said. They have asked me if I would take it for a short period of time for the party until they come to a conclusion. I will do it if necessary, should they not be able to make their decision. So Donald Trump is up for it. Unfortunately, the rule book is not. For starters, Trump is not a member of the Congress. But let's assume some MAGA fanboy vacates his seat. Trump then runs and enters Congress. Even then, he faces a hurdle. House Republicans are required to vacate their seats if charged with serious offenses. You don't have to be convicted. Simply being charged is enough to disqualify you. So Trump cannot hold a seat of Congress, not unless Republicans change the rules, or of course, unless Trump is declared innocent. But chances are all of this will take a lot of time. Trump faces 91 felony counts across 2 states. It's not Imran Khan level, but it's still a lot. You have to feel for the US voters then. Their choice next year could be between these two men. Both are old and white. One is knee-deep in criminal and civil trials. The other is stumbling from one U-turn to the next.